Hola Buenas! I am unbelievably excited to start this new series here in Venezuela, a country with so much natural beauty, amazing people, and good food. But with that, there are also issues here, just like anywhere else in the world, and in this series, I don't want to sugarcoat it. This is somewhere I would recommend people to come to, but be cautious, and if you have friends who are from here, stick with them and listen to their advice. Before we begin, let's have a bit of a history lesson to get you up to speed. Hugo Chavez led Venezuela from 1999 until his death in 2013, balancing popular policies with economic mismanagement. After Chavez, his vice president Nicolas Maduro took over. The country heavily relied on oil, and when prices dropped, Venezuela's economy suffered due to mismanagement, corruption, and a lack of diverse planning. Maduro's leadership faced protests and accusations of unfair elections, leading to political instability. This sparked an economic crisis with hyperinflation and widened the gap between the rich and the poor. In essence, a mix of economic, political, and leadership challenges led Venezuela to its current tough situation. It's therefore sad to see that this beautiful part of the world, which still has so much potential, has some places in disrepair. I have a lot of respect and love for the people of Venezuela and feel honored I had the opportunity to be a guest in their wonderful country. Without any further ado, let's get started. Empecemos. During the time of this trip, which was in September, there were no direct flights from Madrid to Isla Margarita, which meant I needed to fly from Madrid to Caracas, which is the capital, and then from Caracas to Isla Margarita. I had been told by my friend that the airport in Caracas is so dangerous that if I need to speak to anyone for directions, I should avoid speaking to anyone with a military uniform and only talk with the elderly. Imagine that. I've just arrived in this country. There are armed military everywhere, and I've been told that I cannot trust those walking around with submachine guns. I was not comfortable with this situation at all. To be honest with you though, I had absolutely no problems going from the international airport to the national one, and everyone was very polite and respectful. I think the general rule is don't be an idiot. Show respect and try to speak your best Spanish. Waking up on the first day, I went out to the roof and got myself locked out. There's a turtle down here somewhere. Found him before. Oh, there he is.
There he is, look. Little turtle just chilling. Adorable.
There's the cat. Cute. And then over here, you can see the sea just in the distance. My friend and I went to a beautiful little place that made homemade empanadas right on the beach. We're in Muelle de Pampatan. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Behind us here, we have a restaurant we just went to, and I had a empanada. It was massive. It was beautiful, really, really nice. It had pabellon in it, and it also had carne, just meat and a bunch of other stuff. I had some banana in there. It was great. So behind me, you can see where we just came from. We've driven just up the road, and here we've got this most beautiful view behind us. It's very tropical here. The humidity is unbelievable. So as you can see here, we have the original cannons that have been here for absolutely ages. So you can imagine if a ship was coming in here, and we're trying to get to the beach just here, we've got the cannon facing directly there. And there's a few more around here as well. You've got this one right here. There is a bunch down there as well. Look how beautiful the color of that sea is. So you can see there's a number of boats here, and actually the reason why these boats are here is they're all out there fishing. And the interesting thing is you can see all of these birds here. I believe they're heron. I'm not 100% sure, but if you look at how many birds are out there, you know that there's going to be a lot of fish there. That's why they're there. So I'm going to try and not scare them off, but right in front of me I've got 3 vultures. I've never seen a wild vulture before, so for me this is absolutely fascinating. They're massive. Oh no, they're flying off already. I'm going to spin around. You can see there's 2 up here. There was 3 before. So this beach behind me is actually $1 in order to stay there for the day. This is funny because on this side we have the beach for the people, and then just on the other side here, you can see the water is a lot calmer. And the reason why is this is where the fish are. So you can do your fishing on this side and you chill out on the beach on the other side. And they're actually selling fish just up here. So I'm going to show you that right now. The fishermen come in after a haul and the fish are sold right here. We then made our way to Playa Escondida, which literally means hidden beach. I was informed that those that come here tend to come here for extracurricular activities, if you know what I mean. And this is my first time touching the Caribbean Sea since I arrived. So this little beach here is very secluded. It's absolutely beautiful. I haven't got the right equipment today to be going in the sea, but I've touched it. We then moved on to a lighthouse known as Faro Punta Ballena, which is the Whale Point Lighthouse in English. Okay, so as you can see here, we have the sea, we've got the beach, and then just on the other side here, this is the salt plain. So this is where they gather the salt from in order to refine it and then deposit it. You might not be able to see this, but behind us, you can actually see the mainland a tiny little bit. So that's the mainland over there. We're on the island right now. We're going to make our way all the way to the top. According to this sign in here, I'll show you, there's Iglesia de Cristo de Buen Beato. But as you can see, there is absolutely no church. This next one is the archipelago of Los Frailes. Just outside the lighthouse, we have these little signs here, and it tells you the distance in nautical miles from the location. So here we have Londres, which is London, 2,300. We also have Cadiz here in Spain. That's pretty cool. And here we have Castillo San Carlos de Borromeo, which is a 17th century fortress built by the Spanish colonial authorities in Pampatar. It was built to defend against pirates. It offers strategic views of the Caribbean Sea. The castle, which is actually named after Saint Charles Borromeo, features thick walls and has been restored for tourism, providing visitors with a glimpse into the historical significance and stunning vistas. We headed over to Avenida Aldonza Manrique coconut bar for a quick drink. I had never had a coconut like this before. It was absolutely delicious and very cold. Exactly what I needed in this tropical heat. There was a woman selling mangoes on the side of the road, so we decided to stop and buy some for breakfast. It was $2 for all of these. So the name of this place is Plaza Asuncion. This is this square, the main square in this little town. Absolutely beautiful. You can see the color of the buildings. It's just so nice here. Really nice environment, you know, really hot though. So as you can see behind me, it says Museo Nueva Cadiz. And the reason why is when the Spanish initially arrived here in Latin America, they landed on Isla Margarita, and the island was actually originally named the New Cadiz. So Cadiz being the place from Spain, so that's what they called it. And now it's changed, of course, and it's now called Isla Margarita. It's currently closed, this building, but I just thought I'd mention it and show you it as we are here. Here is a museum dedicated to the Virgin Mary. That museum is actually a dedication to the Virgin Mary. It's very interesting because, of course, Venezuela being a Catholic country, there's a big focus on Maria. And for those who are of Church of England, know that there's less of a focus on Mary. So it's really nice to see a big focus and a kind of respect for Maria and the Virgin, and seeing from a different perspective, I guess you could say. So yeah, really interesting, really nice. And there was a lady in there who walked us around and showed us all the different artworks. If I'm honest, I was a little bit apprehensive about showing these because if I saw them in Europe, I would say they are quite offensive. But I was told that they are known as Margariteñas and represent the women of Isla Margarita. They are known for their vibrant colors and exaggerated features. as you can see. Unfortunately, this castle is closed behind us, but what I wanted to point out is that these beautiful castles are dotted all around the island. But their purpose, of course, is when the Spanish came here, they built them in order to fortify the island here on Isla Margarita. We finished our first full day by going to the food cart and having some fried chicken. It was to die for. Because of the political situation in Venezuela, the people use dollars and sometimes will accept euros. I made a fatal error and brought my Revolut card, which is not supported in Venezuela. Thankfully, my friend helped me and I simply transferred the money to her. But please do your own research before you travel to this beautiful country. Make sure that your bank is functional in Venezuela. Prices are on par with those of Europe, which is fine for someone coming from Europe, but I can only imagine the struggle to afford to live if you are someone living in Venezuela on a much lower salary. Waking up the next day, we went out for pastelitos and empanadas. I don't think I need to tell you how good the food is here in Venezuela. And the weirdest thing is, coming back from this trip, even though I ate like a king, I actually lost weight. Now I have absolutely no evidence for this, but I think it's just because of the brutal heat. And our first beach today is Manzanillo. So the beach we're on right now is at the north part of the island. And being on the north part, it means that the sea is much rougher, which is the reason why you can see how big the waves are here. Absolutely massive. And they're even bigger actually on the northeast corner, which we were at before. We're actually going to be checking that beach out a bit later. You can see the water's like turquoise in color. It's very strange though, there's not many tourists here, there's not many people visiting. You can see that this is the kind of place people should be visiting, really. It's a real shame that there's not. There seems to be a lot of people around, not just here, but also as we were coming around to the northeast part, people trying to stop you in the cars to say, look, come in, eat here, or stay at our beach. Basically, they need money, and it's totally understandable. A really difficult situation that they're in. But it's really sad to see because you can see how much natural beauty there is here. It's such a beautiful place. I feel very honored to have the opportunity to be here. As we make our way around this mountain, here we are now at Puerto Constanza. Really nice, it's just a viewpoint basically from here. So again, still in the northern part, making our way round to the west. And here we are overlooking Hotel Esperia. If you look just beyond the hotel, you can see the old golf course. Unfortunately, it's no longer open and you can see how dry and unkempt it now looks. And again, look at the little bay there, the turquoise water. Wow. Amazing. Moving on, we make our way to Zaragoza. It amazes me how these beaches aren't jammed packed full of people, and yet they are so beautiful. If we make a basic comparison between this and Italy, it's unbelievable. Again, no disrespect to Italian beaches, they are absolutely beautiful, but there is often way too many people, and every square inch of the beach has been squeezed with sunbeds to maximize profit. Just a reminder on that one as well, we're talking specifically about the Amalfi Coast, which is in reference to the previous series. I'm sure there's plenty of places in Italy that are a lot more affordable. It just so happens on the Amalfi Coast, it's extortionate. Now we are in Fortin de la Galera, which has the most breathtaking views on all angles. For lunch, we went to Terraza Bayside and had some healthy eating, a nice soup and some fresh fish, and panela on the side, which for those that don't know is basically sugarcane juice, very typical of Latin America. In the afternoon, we went to the local church. So we're just leaving the church now. One thing to point out here that's really interesting is that they've got this Mary there. And what they do is per year, they replace the dress on Mary and it costs a lot of money. So what people do is they contribute basically different garments in order to dress the Mary, the Maria. Finally, a few of my friends' friends had gone fishing, so we went to see them for a little bit before the sun set. Sunsets in this part of the world, just like any other close to the equator, sets at roughly 6 p.m. all year round, which feels very odd when you compare to Europe, where in summers we have days when the sun sets very late and winters when the sun sets much earlier. Thank you so much for watching this week's video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one where we continue our adventure here in Venezuela. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.